It's time to talk about the etymology of European country names in English. But first, Europe itself. But first, Europe itself. Europe comes from Latin Europa, which comes from Greek Europe, from the Greek Euris, broad or beautiful. Broad and it comes from ox, face or eye. It's a description of Europa, the mother of King Minos of Crete. Eurus is from uh, Proto-Indo-European, Opes is from Proto-Hellenic "oquus", from Proto-Indo-European "hoquus", the root of English "eye", Dutch "oog", German "auge", Spanish "ojo", and Portuguese "olho. Most countries end in the suffix "ia" or "land", so let's get that out of the way too. Ia is from Latin "ia", which is from Greek "ia", from Proto-Indo-European "ie". Land is from Proto-Germanic "landa", same root as Dutch, German, Swedish, Danish, Norwegian, and Icelandic words "land". Let's do the countries now. Finally, let's do them by the order of population. Russia has the suffix "ia", obviously, and the root "Rus" is the name of an ancient country with East Slavic tribes called Rus or Kievan Rus. Rus comes from the Rus people, the Germanic Swedish merchants, so Swedish people basically united Russia, who united the Slavs in the aforementioned Kievan Rus state. Basically, the Rus are Swedish Vikings. It has the same root as the Ros in Rosalgen, a town in Sweden, and the historical name for the land belonging to Svealand, central Sweden. Spoiler alert, Svealand is where the word Swede comes from. Germany. Einigkeit und Recht und Freiheit. The E is in Germany is from ia. French inheritances of Latin ia words end with E. And 29% of English words are from French. So naturally, we started doing the same to some Latin words. The root German comes from Latin Germanic. Root German comes from Latin Germanus, meaning brother, related to the Spanish hermano, meaning the same thing. And referring to the fact that Germanic and Romance. The root German comes from the Latin Germanus, meaning brother, related to the Spanish hermano, meaning brother, and referring to the fact that Germanic and Romance are brothers descended from the Indo-European. Germanus also means seed, like in Germany, because the Germanic peoples are closely related to the original Indo-European people. Turkey! Also, a PSA, President Erdogan needs to go to hell. Alright, back to the names. Around 2,500 years ago, the Turkics lived in an area from western China to Mongolia. Then between the year 1 and 1000 AD, they migrated all over Eurasia. The Seljuk Turks migrated into Anatolia and evolved into the modern Turks of Turkey. Then they had a huge empire, then the empire was stolen from them in World War I, and now they're modern Turkey. E is just another form of E, just spelled differently. Turk derives from Old French Turk, from Latin Turcus, from the Turkish Turk, from the Old Turkic Turk, however you pronounce that, which is said to mean strong. France. Je me rends, je me rends, je me rends. Tu arrives.
Avez-vous vu que dans votre pays le goût français vous envahit? Vous portez notre haute couture, vous mangez notre nourriture, vous aimez nos parfums et nos vins. Votre meilleur vocabulaire vient directement de chez nous. Oh, revenez à la raison, apprenez la langue supérieure. Allez, il est grand temps que vous parliez français, car votre...
The France is from the Frankic peoples. The Franks are a tribe. It is said that the original Frankish king Priam came from Troy. They migrated to the river Don, and then they divide. Don is in Russia, by the way. They divided in the area of Macedonia. Then they founded a city called Sicambria on the Danube. King Francia went to Francia, just as Romulus went to Rome. The Trojans' military force at the Battle of Maeotia earned them the name Frank, meaning something along the lines of savage or free or frank or direct. So basically, they can speak freely, and savage, probably their war tactics, and direct because they are direct people. You know how Germans and Dutch are? Actually, the Dutch are the closest related to the Franks, and they are known for being frank. The Franks created a country called Francia. The EO was dropped completely in French, so it's called France, and therefore in English, where it's France, but not in Spanish, Portuguese, or Italian, where they call it Francia, Franza, and Franzia, respectively. The Dutch, Germans, and Danes call them Frankrijk, Frankreich, and Frankrijk, respectively. Rijk slash Reich slash Rijk, meaning something along the lines of a country, like the Germans when they refer to their country as das Reich, or the Dutch when they refer to their country as Het Rijk. Or spoiler alert, Austria's German name has the word Reich in it for that reason. The United Kingdom, I ruled the waves. United because the four constituent countries are in a bond, and kingdom because it's ruled by a monarch. England. Okay, I'm gonna stop this nonsense accent. Let's go by order of population for the constituent countries. England. The land is obviously, because it's land, it's a Germanic language. And I'll be now ignoring the endings of all these words since I've explained them over and over again so many times. The Ang is from the Angles, one of the tribes, along with the Frisians, Jutes, and Saxons that migrated to Great Britain after the Britons. Those are Celtic peoples, actually. The Britons are Celtic, not Germanic. But the Angles, Frisians, Jutes, and Saxons are Germanic. Some of the Brittonic tribes needed help. The Britons needed help fighting other Brythonic tribes. So they invited the four Anglo-Frisian tribes, usually called Anglo-Saxon in the context of England, to migrate to Great Britain to help them. And then they just took over. Scotland. Scot comes from Old English scotas, meaning an inhabitant of Ireland, from Latin scoti, around AD 400. It was used by the Romans to describe an Irish group that raided Roman Britannia. Wales and Welsh comes from Old English Wal, meaning foreigner. It's actually the same in German. One verse says, Wirst du doch drum ein Welscher nicht. And Welscher, if you translate that, will not be Welsh slash a foreigner. Welsh and Welsh come from Proto-Germanic Walhas, from the Latin Volcae, a name for a Gaulish people, which later became the name for all inhabitants of the Western Roman Empire, and later all foreigners. Volcae is also the root of many names of many places in Romance countries. Wallachia, a place in Romania, somewhere in the area between the Danube and the Carpathians. Wallonia, the southern half of the southern Belgium. Valais, a French canton of Switzerland. The Vlachs, literally just a variant of Wallachians, which are just Romance people east of Italy. Vlachs was derived into the Polish name for Italy, Włochy, or Włochy. Actually, I don't know how to speak Polish. Northern Ireland. It's just Northern Ireland in it. Italy. Cambio lato. The E comes from Ia. Italia. Italia comes from the southern Greek name for the southern two peninsulae of the Italian peninsula. So, those bottom of the boot. Two accounts of Italia's origin are given. 1. Oscan Vitelliu, land of calves. Oscan was an Italic language that went extinct in AD 79. Wow, people have not been passing down their language to their children for a long time, and it's causing languages to die. It is a sister language to Latin, and the Oscan word for calf, vitlo, is cognate to Latin vitulus, meaning calf. The bull was a symbol of the southern Italic tribes. 2. Named after the legendary king Italus of the Oenotrians, who are among the earliest recorded inhabitants of Italy and were of Greek descent. Wait, not Oenotrians, Oenotrians. Okay. Italos comes from the ancient Greek Italos,